This episode is one of my favorites of the season. It was one of the hardest episodes to break. In the writer's room, this was originally called, like, I think the Party Monster or something. We knew we wanted to do an episode that took place during, like Gravity Falls is a show about monsters. It's also a show about like relatable childhood memories. And to me, the most terrifying memory is the idea of going to a school dance. I think,
scary.
Yeah, it's something we've all experienced, and particularly I think animators were more likely to be the wallflowers and not the guy cutting the
What are you
rug.
saying?
I mean, I'm speaking for myself. Probably, maybe you were a dance machine, but I was a lot more like Dipper, scared of dancing. And so
I only became a dance machine in recent years.
that's true, actually.
You're talking about DDR, right?
But we thought, like, that's a great location for an episode. It's like a school dance. Obviously, it takes place in the Mystery Shack during the
Here's
summer.
the hand coming light.
This was also boarded by Alonzo. You did an amazing job.
That
is a
was
great
so
cold
fun.
open.
That was my funnest. I love.
You made this so much creepier than I.
We
when I
needed to
wrote
be
this, I
creepy.
never imagined it would be the bubbling hand.
Oh my God.
I did not predict how gross it would be. But our challenge with this was we needed to come up with a story that was like a school dance, and there's no school, so we came up with a totally dumb Grunkle Stan throwing a kid dance,
Right.
Yeah.
because he thinks it'll attract. With a character like that, you can kind of believe he.
And then we
can
actually
excuse
came
anything.
up with a different place in the Mystery Shack that didn't existed before, which is this like parlor.
Yeah.
Which is like at the time we were not sure
Where it would be. We
but when
eventually
we
figured
placed
out
it-
that it was we decided, okay, there's a all-purpose big room. So that's the room where they fight the clones, or that's the room where they fight the wax guys and headhunters. And that's like, as we were working in the background, we just decided, okay, we've got a random room. It's called the parlor. It's got a rhinoceros in
got
it.
a rhino
Sometimes
head.
you're killing wax figures. Sometimes you're doing a school dance. But the thing that was such a challenge about this episode, the reason we had a hard time breaking it was we were thinking, well, it's easy to think of a party story for Mabel. What's Mabel going to do? Well, she's going to make friends, first of all, and she's probably going to compete to be the party king because she loves partying. Dipper hates partying, so what's his story going to be? And originally we said, oh, Dipper doesn't want there to be a party. So Dipper's going to hide up in the attic, and the whole time he's going to try to stop the party, and he's going to conjure a monster who stops the party. And there was a version where he conjured Bill Cipher to
wow.
stop the party.
This
And
is
Wow.
early?
Yes.
Early on.
Yes. There was a version where he contacted like some kind of ghost, like the ghost of some dead dance style or something. And no matter, every version we wrote sucked because Dipper was totally unlikable.
Right.
Like I was trying to be honest to my experience as a kid, and I was like, I hated dances. I wanted to get away from them. Dipper's like me. He's inspired by me. So Dipper's not gonna want to go to a dance.
Right.
And it broke us. And for like a month, this episode was like stalled out. It was, nobody could write it. And then at the last second, somebody was like, okay, well, Alex, I know that you don't dance, but what if Dipper's a little more naive than you and he just wants to dance with Wendy and that's his conflict? And it was like,
Yeah.
wait, Dipper wants to dance with Wendy. If that's his conflict, then what's getting in his way? What if Dipper's getting his own way by overthinking it? How do we manifest that through animation? What if it clones? Because that's the idea of getting in your own way. And in like an hour, we broke the entire story after a month of being stalled out just because we allowed Dipper to be like, more kind of naive than I was at that age.
and he was extra planny and everything. And I think even Mabel says it here, like you're getting on your
Getting
way.
in your own way.
Yeah,
All of
yeah.
these lists, like that's where the episode came from. I just have to call it that scene where Mabel was pantomiming smooching. I believe Alonzo
Yeah,
boarded that as well.
I did the first act, and Matt took over the second act.
Yeah, we used to split them
Over-
right down the middle.
Right in the middle.